we're talking about direct to consumer golf, and I've had Jason Hyland from Sub 70 Golf on the show several times, kind of sharing about the brand, how they got started. Um, you've had some experience with Tacomo, like you had recently bought a set of Tacomo irons. There's a number of these club manufacturers that are popping up, and again, I thought it would be a fun topic to talk about because they're pretty darn good.
Yeah. I don't even know what got me to try them. I mean, I know one of the reasons, but you know, you look at some of these, and it's almost when I first started looking at them, and you see them on Instagram, they'll pop up, and you're like, the first thought is like, there's no way they're good. I mean, they're
Yeah,
just, it's impossible. I mean, they're you know, 399, 499, 599, whatever, and it's just like, there's no way they can be good. Um, and it's crazy and I've done it. I mean, obviously we can talk about it a little more, but I made the switch at least for now to Tacoma, and I've played 3 or 4 rounds with them, and I don't have anything bad to say. Um, I ended up just buying the heads of the 101 Ts and put them on my shafts that I had my P790s on, and so the shaft didn't change, the grips didn't change. It was literally just the heads, and I don't see a huge difference. Definitely not the difference in the price.
100%.
I
Well,
don't
and I
see.
would
Yeah,
argue, I'd argue the fact that you just said that you don't see a difference is a huge win for Tacoma when you're talking about, I mean, anybody who's listening to this, if you don't know, just type in P790s and look at the price, and then type in Tacoma and look at the price.
yeah,
I'd say that's an enormous win for Tacoma if you don't notice a difference.
yeah. I bought the 101 Ts. Again, I bought the heads only, so it was like 399, 4 through pitching wedge, and put them on. I put the 7 on there first, because the nice thing about Tacoma is if you leave all of them wrapped and only unwrap the 7, you can use the 7, try it out, and then you could send it all back for a full refund,
Yeah.
which is nice. So I used the 7 for a round or two and did some testing in my simulator. And the biggest difference I saw, the good difference with Tacoma, was my dispersion. My dispersion from that compared to the 790s was way less with the Tacomas. Um, and that's what shocked me. My ball flight was a little lower, which I need. Um, and it was just, I'm like, I'm making a switch. I mean, I'm doing it. So I swapped out the whole bag and been using them since. And I'm still a pretty crappy golfer sometimes, but it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with my irons. I can promise you that. Um, but I mean, that's a huge win for them for sure. I don't
Yeah,
obviously I'm not.
I'd argue almost, a lot of these big box manufacturers, TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, less Titleist than TaylorMade and Callaway, they chase distance so much. I mean, they want to get out there and they want to say, hey, our irons go 5 yards further or 10 yards further. I'll never forget they had the rocket balls when rocket balls first came out. They actually had a thing where you could put in for a free 6 iron or free 7 iron, and they would send it to you just claiming that their 6 iron would go further than your 6 iron or whatever. And if I'm getting it wrong on the
Right.
club number, fine. But when you got it, it's almost like a hybrid construction 6 iron. It had a like it was. I mean it. If the thing didn't have a trampoline effect like a driver, I'd be surprised. But and it probably didn't spin a lick, but the thing would go up in the air and go for miles. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a fantastic hybrid. I mean, I used the
Yeah.
thing for about a year, like just because they had sent it to me, and I think I paid $5 or something for the shipping. But
That's funny.
it is, but they're sitting there trying to chase distance. Whereas I think that what they've done is they've opened the door to somebody who's just saying, "Hey, we make a really good product, and it's going to perform for you on the course." And they're like, "I don't. We're not chasing 5 yards. We're not. We're just saying, hey, it's going to perform well for you." And I think that to what you're saying about Tacoma, they make a very well made product, and they're saying we'll put our product up against anybody. And I would say the same thing, like sub 70. And I've had the benefit of talking to the owner of the company, Jason Hyland, several times, and I've given him a platform to talk to our audience here. But Jason just makes a good product, and he's just saying, hey, I'm not trying to say our product goes longer or it's that it's going to do something egregiously different than anybody else. He's saying we're making a really good, attractive golf product, and if you want to buy it, it's probably a little bit less than what you're paying at the Superstore or Edwin Watts or wherever you're buying your golf stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, way less. I mean, I was shocked. I've looked at all of them. I've looked at all the irons and just started building them online. And luckily, I have a perfect shaft right now that works for me, so I haven't had to redo that. But shoot, you
Right.
start getting in the shafts and everything, redoing, you're going to be, well into the thousands, for just a set of irons. So for somebody to come into the market and be half the price for a good quality product, and that's how I would say it. They are good, if not great quality product. I mean, they look sharp. They, for anybody who wants, like for me, I'm just talking about Tacoma. I haven't tried Sub 70 at all. I know you have, but for Tacoma, anybody that's looking to get into it and is like scared of a blade, I mean, but loves the look of it, you're getting that too. It's like it looks just like a blade, but you're hitting it like a huge cavity, like a big one, like a very forgiving club.
Right.
And my dispersion is tightened a lot. My miss hits are not. I'm not losing them. And the problem with some of these distance um, irons is that when I'd get a hold of one um, at like I'd hear, and it always happens to me in the same hole here in St. John's Golf is, I'll get up there with a 5 iron or 7 iron, and it's a perfect number for me, and I'll hit it very well, center of the club, and and it goes 25 yards further than I've ever hit
Right.
it. And it's just you can't. And the problem is there's water behind the hole, so it's like I can't do that. I just can't have a ball that just all of a sudden out of nowhere just takes off. Um, or not a ball, a club face. And I think that's where they're making them so hot that you can't control. I mean, quote like the temperature. Not to be cheesy about it, but it's true. Like you can't control how fast that thing's coming off the face. Where I think I'm just more consistent with these, and they are lofted a little differently than 790s. They're weaker, I guess, but I'm doing the mentality of I'm clubbing up a little bit and taking it easy on my swing, and I think that's helped a lot too. So I'm
Yeah.
not worried about a lot of it.
Well, and I think that there's something to be said. There's only so far you can go when it comes to when they get more and more aggressive with all these lofts. I mean, when a pitching wedge goes from, I mean, I think about it even since, in the last 20 years, a pitching wedge has gone from 47 degrees. It used to be 50 degrees, then it went to 47, then 46, 45, and now you're seeing pitching wedges that are 43, 42
Hmm.
degrees. I mean, it's a 9 iron. I mean, it's so all you've done effectively is just take everything and moved it back a club. So it
Right,
gives them the opportunity to sell you another wedge, or you have to put
right.
another club in to fill a gap in your bag is all it does. And
Well,
it
when you go to the store and you go to the PGA store and you have your 7 iron and you're hitting it 185 yards, 190 yards, and they give you, hey, try this new 7 iron that's really a 6, and you start hitting a 200, you're like, whoa, like absolutely, this is a way better club. And no,
100%.
it's just a different club. Like maybe use your 6 against their 7. Like I don't know, like you make a good point. They're just different, and every year they're just going to keep getting. They're going to try to keep all getting faster and faster with each other. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, I'm very, very happy right now. I haven't even thought
Fantastic.
about any other irons at this point. Um, I've got some stuff to work on my swing. That's a whole different story. So that's where our boy Wes comes in handy. So
Absolutely. So, that brings up another thing that when we start talking about cost, they're not saving their money on the actual club heads or on the types of metals that they're using. Nothing within the process of actually manufacturing the club heads. Where they're saving a lot of this cost is in that whole direct to consumer model. It's in the business model that they have started from the beginning of the inception of their companies. They've decided to cut out these big box stores. They've decided to cut out even the online retailers, and they're just going direct to consumer. And it gives them a much bigger margin to play with in order to offer the cost savings back to the customer.
yeah, and then I would say marketing too. Right? And obviously they do a good job with social media, but that's nowhere near as expensive as where
No
the big
question.
boys are marketing. Obviously, they market with the PGA, so they're paying every single one of those guys that uses a Titleist iron. Um, they're they're marketing at every single golf event across the country. And these guys just said, you know what? We're going to make a really good product. We are going to find some guys like a Grant Horvat that can swing a stick and loves our product. He's going to invest in it because he's in love with it so much. And that's our marketing team. That's our marketing group. They know very well that social media with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever X, wherever is going to make a huge impact. And it's going to cost them a fraction of what these other guys are spending on marketing as well. On top of everything you just said with the business model and cutting out the middleman. It's genius, honestly. I mean, it's as long as, and it's a big risk because it's as long as you make a good product. Now you could sell it at $100 and it could be $100 iron like that easily, and then that's it. It's over for you. So you've got to be able to back it up. And I think all these or most of them, the companies that I've seen have backed it up.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I think that, kind of to your point, I think that social media has become a huge driver when it comes to um, the market that they want to be in. Those are the people that are watching social media, YouTube, all of that stuff. It's your kids. That's what they're watching. They're not watching television. They're watching YouTube. They're watching
Mhm.
Facebook. They're watching Snapchat. They're watching, I might even be dating myself with some of those references, but they're not watching cable television and they're not watching the PGA Tour. We did an
Right.
episode about a month ago or a little over a month ago, and we talked about how the PGA Tour's average audience age is 64 years old. That's not who they're trying to sell to. So,
Right.
I mean, to me, to your point, it's cost effective. It gives them the cool factor. It gives them, that kind of cutting edge factor, whether it is or not. It just makes it look a lot cooler and a lot better than those old brands that the 64-year-olds are, repping on their bags.
Absolutely. 100%. I could not agree with you more. It's just been very good for the industry, honestly. I mean, obviously some of the big guys probably aren't as appreciative of it, but and I think it's working because I mean I just got an email from Tacoma a few days ago that they're backed up. Their lead times have now gone out an extra couple of weeks because of their influx of business and building clubs. I think it's just going to continue to grow.
I agree with you. I think it's fantastic. I think it's like anytime you can innovate and you can make things more cost effective for the consumer and you can make money doing it, I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Mike, thanks again for joining me for this. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll catch you guys down the road.
I mean, I appreciate it.